first study. So I'm with you, I think, pretty much through all of your results about the aggression for males and the fear of sexual coercion for females. But I worry, I guess, a little bit about that dichotomization. So I think it's fine the way that you presented it, but I wonder if, because you only looked at fear of sexual assault, if fear may still be an important factor for men, and not fear of spiders or fear of snakes, but fear of, of intergroup conflict. I mean, so fear could still be a factor. So breaking it up as sort of aggression and fear,
yeah.
You did it cleanly, but I worry that that's not exactly painting the picture.
It's not painting, that's right, a complete picture of the psychology of prejudice. Requires that we look at, to the extent it actually works with share. In my view, it's sort of been demonstrated by some of the researchers, right, to say it's almost implicit in every study now that people avoid black people because they're afraid of them, people avoid the outgroup because they're afraid of them. And in a sense, if I showed that fear for people are more prejudiced, it wouldn't be too surprising. And so what I tried to emphasize on was the component of fear that is dedicated towards fear of sexual coercion and how that's uniquely predicted for women, and the component of the threat management system, which includes overlaps to some degree on aggression, but that is more of a male phenomenon than a female phenomenon. So certainly fear for men relates to negativity towards outgroups, and my data actually suggests, not in the fear conditioning experiment, but other studies that I've done, shows that that's in fact true. Right? But given that in fact already exists, right? So my contribution was to be able to describe the specificity of that in a functional way for women, right? A specific problem that they might have that men don't have, right? It's fear because of sexual coercion, and aggression, which is going to be intrasexual aggression, which is going to benefit men more than women. At least that's like story that we seem to actually have psychological evidence for.
But you didn't compare women's fear of sexual assault to their fear of physical assault. I have, yeah.
Yeah. Well, non-physical, general physical assault, but some of the items, when fear of rape measure actually seem to be indiscriminate between physical and sexual assault, but we covary out these effects using a general fear scale, and still finding predictive utility of fear of rape. Marty.
So you got your degree in biological anthropology. Fantastic. I'm extremely impressed with the data and the person who collected them. I think that it's really remarkable the specificity of the effects that you're showing, and I'm actually impressed that you're getting the cycle effects using the methods that you are, and we can talk about that later because there's so much unreliability in the measure. It suggests that the effect sizes are probably fairly large.
Not really. I think actually there are some benefits to maintain the internal validity of your data when you have racially homogeneous. So my subjects are all Midwestern girls,
right.
White girls, 18 to 19.
Right.
Most of them. When I actually used the larger sample, right, you actually saw my effects were quite small.
Right. But it's because of the unreliability of measurement and asking women where they are in their cycle.
Yeah.
It means that you're going to have an attenuation of your effect size.
Yeah.
So it means
okay,
that
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway, but my question is, now you're a social psychologist, right?
That's what my job is.
That's right. That's your job. So, and social psychologists are who study stereotyping and prejudice, but they're often interested in the application. What is it? What does it mean for people who want to change the world so that it's less of that kind of place? And what do you say on the basis of what you've done?
Actually, that issue's only come up once in a review, and the editor asked that I describe practical applications about what this might mean. And I politely declined to talk actually about what I think actually should be done about this. This is a nascent research program. When I've got 20 years on my belt, and other people replicate and whatnot, right? And I think we have a lot more clarity and about how the system works. Maybe I might want to take a whack at it, but it's so sensitive.
Right.
Politically sensitive, and something it probably should, right, both for scientific reasons, right, and for political reasons, just, well, also because the story I'm presenting, you guys are really, like, meta question asked, and you're already, like, a couple steps ahead of me, actually, so you're more in depth, which is kind of cool. But, you know, this is a very simple, I try to make actually sort of story, that makes, you know, front-end predictions actually going one way, when you could actually have predictions of menstrual cycle stuff going the other way. And I have some data, again, not published, not peer-reviewed yet, that actually shows conditions in which you can get it the other way. Right? So to describe something about public policy, actually, when these things are actually so contingent on individual differences, that it's something that we probably should be.
I think that given our time, we probably need to cut it off there, and thank Carlos very much.
Thanks.
People who are enrolled for